Netflix piracy thrives as subscribers rethink their streaming subscriptions. What do you know? You got everyone away from piracy by gathering everything they want to watch in one place and charging them like $5. Now, if they want to watch everything, they're going to have to subscribe to like 30 unique streaming services for like $15+ each. Eventually, they realized they could get everything in one place for a cheap price again on the seven seas, guys. Just got to do some sailing. Despite the availability of more legal streaming options than ever before, TV show and movie piracy are on the rise. No, it's because of more legal streaming options than ever before. It's because they're going the console route. They're going exclusivity. Oh, if you want to watch this one specific show, you have to watch it on this one specific service. If you want to watch this other show, that's on a different service. So soon you're paying like $200 a month and you're only watching like one show per service. Yeah, no shit, people are just going to stop. Yeah, subscribing to all these streaming services is more expensive than cable now. So increased fragmentation in the streaming landscape paired with high costs is driving people to illegal options. That's exactly right. According to data from piracy tracking company Muso, Netflix content is now good for 16% of all piracy traffic. That's how I'm going to end up watching some of their original anime. As the first major legal subscription streaming service in the internet, Netflix paved the way for a streaming revolution. The company began competing with piracy from the get-go, branching off a superior alternative. In the early years, that strategy paid off. And just like any other company, as they grow and become a real company, they lost everything that made them good. So millions of subscribers switched from casually consuming pirated content on unlicensed platforms in favor of a convenient, reasonably priced legal alternative. Piracy never went away, but downloading Netflix content illegally seemed silly. Yeah. When it was super cheap, oh yeah, you're right. And it was less risky to use Netflix too. You didn't have to worry about getting viruses. In the recent years that followed, the legal streaming landscape became more crowded. Inspired by Netflix's success, new streaming portals such as Amazon, Disney+, HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount+, and Peacock started competing for a share of the lucrative streaming market. It actually is worse than that. It's not just that new competitors sprung up to compete, which that would not be bad, by the way. If that's all that happened was you just had new competitors come up to the scene, but every new competitor took content away from some of the others because they started fragmenting. So now, previously you had one low-priced destination for all your streaming needs. Now you have like 30 way more expensive ones that each offer a fraction of what the original did. That's why it's such a dumpster fire. Media often refers to this competition as the streaming wars, but the real threat may not come from legal services, but illegal pirate sites. So once the pirate sites grow again and all but like 2 or 3 of these services go out of business, like they'll be merged into each other. And then once it's only a few of them again, maybe, but they'd have to drop the price first. The suggestion that subscription fatigue may motivate people to start pirating again isn't new. We've highlighted this issue in the past. Have been confirmed by research. Is now reaching a point that's hard for Hollywood to ignore. So sick the mafia on them. Piracy tracking from Musa recognizes the problem too. In addition to doing anti-piracy work for major copyright holders, the Airstrip One company also helps major players such as Amazon, Lionsgate, and Sony understand the latest piracy trends. Piracy is appealing once again. So did piracy change? Did piracy suddenly get better to make itself more appealing? No, it didn't. It's because the legal options got worse. They're splitting up. You're paying more for less. They're censoring content. So not only are you paying more for less, but you're getting gimped censored versions too. There's no reason not to pirate in that environment. In an op-ed, Muso CEO Andy Chatterley highlights the increased fragmentation of the streaming ecosystem paired with higher prices and censorship is starting to make piracy more appealing again. And without an option to pay for everything, people are seeking out alternatives. So facing an increasingly fractured streaming landscape, the consumer does the math and realizes that having access to all the shows they want to watch is not a justifiable expense when the grocery bill's doubled. But we're not in a recession, so it's all good. Yeah, we'll be fine, guys. We'll be fine. and they're cycling or carpooling to work to save money or fuel. In the absence of a one-stop shop like Spotify is to music lovers, and now that piracy sites have evolved to become sophisticated, easy-to-use experiences, people who never resorted to piracy before are finding it more appealing than ever. Everything you could ever want to watch all in one place, only a few clicks away, and all for free. What's not to like? And uncensored. Don't forget that. Though Chatterley notes that the copyright holders should be aware of this potential shift in user behavior, which is backed by data. Earlier this year, Netflix reported subscriber numbers had dropped for the first time in history, and piracy continues to grow. Hey, in the free market, the superior option wins. Now, according to Musso's data, Netflix content was good for a 14.4% U.S. piracy market share. Globally, this number is higher, with Netflix content making up 16%, which is definitely unaffordable in some countries. Now, imagine if they could convert those pirate consumers into paying customers, Chattery comments. Well, they'd have to go back to what they were before. And, some of this isn't Netflix's fault. Like, I'm not going to blame Netflix for this. It's not their fault that companies they used to be partnered with decided that they're going to take their ball and go home. But they sure as hell need to give someone some better incentive. Musso's messaging is part out of self-interest, as the company offers piracy insights as a commercial service. This is a serious business for Musso. Just last week, the company announced it had secured a $3.9 million investment from Puma Private Equity. That said, the fact that a company working with several Hollywood players is prepared to highlight the dangers of too many subscriptions is quite something, especially when that company has started fairly traditionally anti-piracy outfit roughly a decade ago. Instead of pointing the finger at pirates, Chatterley focuses more on the shortcomings of the TV and movie industry. We're going to have to defund them completely before they destroy the whole internet. Piracy can be lowered by offering one-stop solution for a fair price, but somehow that seems to be a pipe dream. Even though we had it in the past, by offering services that are both comprehensive and good value for money, you render piracy a much less attractive option. But with content providers investing billions in their platforms and determined to keep their shows exclusive to them, that seems fanciful. So they used to partner with Netflix, and then they saw how much money Netflix was making and said, we can make that for ourselves. Now they're making even less. Yeah, so the drop-off in subscribers seems set to continue. Yeah, also add the pandemic and the government-mandated lockdowns are finally going away. And piracy sites continue to welcome them with open arms. Yeah, and piracy sites make money on ad revenue too. Like if you join a private tracker, you may have to pay them to get ratio, but they'll be fine.